Gas prices are hitting an all-time high and drivers aren't the only ones hurting.
And the axe begins to fall on more than 19,000 public service workers. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, April 4th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Justin Irwin. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Andrea Hall. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Justin has our top story.
Fuel prices have spiked across the country once again, and the impact won't stop at the pumps. Joseph Engelhardt has the details.
Gas prices jumped as high as $1.40 in some parts of the city this morning. Compared to this time last year, that's about an 8% increase. That's despite the fact that the price of crude oil has actually fallen. With prices likely to rise even higher later in the month, it's beginning to take a toll on drivers. For taxi driver Nachtar Brar, rising prices at the pumps means money lost.
It's eating up our profits, like we are just going by, and it's taking about $10 to $15 per shift out of our pockets, more than which we used to pay.
Brar says his losses can quickly add up.
Almost $400, $500 per month.
For students on a tight budget, paying more for gas is another financial worry.
Just considering the fact that owning a car in Toronto is also very expensive. You have to consider insurance. If you're driving here to school, there's the cost of parking, which is very high. So you're really going to have to start budgeting.
Because what I put in my OSAP budget, less expense, but this is way up in the sky, so this is a lot more than what I expect.
Now, in addition to the obvious industries like cab drivers who literally pay for gas every day in order to do their job, experts say there are a whole whack of other industries that over the long term will be affected by the rising price of gas. We're talking about things like grocery stores who are going to have to pay more for truck drivers to bring the food to their stores. That's going to result in raised prices when you're buying items off the shelf. Joseph Engelhardt, Humber News.
Gas prices aren't the only costs on the rise in Toronto. Kids' sports leagues around the city are being hit with thousands of dollars in new user fees. Some minor league baseball teams went to City Hall last night to protest the fees, which have already caused some leagues to fold. The East York Baseball Association says it was billed $53,000, while the Royal York Baseball Association says its bill reached $97,000. The fees are part of the 2012 city budget and could raise $1.5 million in revenue for Toronto. City Council will vote on a motion to reconsider the fees next week.
Toronto City Council is considering a proposal to turn dug-up earth from construction projects around the city into islands in Lake Ontario. The islands would be built at the mouth of the Humber River and could serve to divert polluted water away from Sunnyside Beach. With several water main and sewer projects combined with the Eglinton Crosstown LRT, more than 1.5 million cubic meters of clean fill are expected to be generated over the next 10 years.
The Tory Stafford murder trial continues today with the pathologist who examined Stafford's body. Dr. Michael Polanin told the court yesterday Stafford's body was too decomposed to determine whether or not she had been sexually assaulted. Michael Rafferty has pled not guilty to first-degree murder, sexual assault causing bodily harm, and abduction. The trial continues today in the London courthouse with cross-examination by the defense.
A 19-year-old male driver charged with criminal negligence causing death will be in court for a bail hearing later today. Oliver Carafa is also facing charges of impaired driving, dangerous driving, and driving with a blood alcohol level over 80 milligrams, all causing death. He was involved in an early morning collision Tuesday that killed 24-year-old passenger David Chang.
Toronto's St. Lawrence Market has topped the list as the best food market in the world, according to National Geographic. The magazine has put together a list of the top 10 food markets in the world. These markets all offer fresh, local produce, often for cheap. Saturday's Farmers Market is a tradition that began in 1803. The St. Lawrence Market is made up of 3 main buildings and has over 120 specialty vendors. It sells everything from fruits and vegetables to meat and baked goods. New York is the only other North American city to make the cut, coming in at second place. Rounding out the top 5 are markets in St. Lucia, Brazil, and Chile.
Humber students got a little dirty today to clean up their campus. Students were given gloves and garbage bags and sent on a hunt for trash. The community and campus cleanup took place at Lakeshore and North campuses. Volunteers who brought back a full bag of garbage were treated to a free lunch.
When we come back, we'll have more news from across the country and around the world. Kate Foster will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Alicia Parchment.
Are the sunny skies here to stay? I'll let you know coming up in your 5-day weather forecast.